Ethics is a tree, and a tree has branches as well as roots. Come, let us look at the branches of ethics. First, we talk about concepts, and we need understanding of those concepts. Example, the word justice is a virtue. It is not just a virtue, but a cardinal virtue applicable in morals and law. The concept justice needs to be appropriately understood. So when there's explanation or conceptualization of justice, that is a branch of philosophy of ethics called meta-ethics. So whenever we engage in description of concepts or conceptualizations of virtues or vices, as the case may be, what is done at that level is meta-ethics. So meta-ethics is simply the branch of philosophy that describes concepts, that explains how concepts, particularly virtues and vices, are conceived or conceptualized. Another branch of philosophy, of ethics rather, is that which tells us what to do and tells us what not to do. For instance, we are to habituate justice, we are to practice justice. Again, note that the practice of justice will be more appropriate on the basis of the knowledge of justice. So we have talked about the knowledge of justice as meta-ethics. The next branch is about the prescription telling us to practice justice, not just justice, charity, and many other virtues. The same branch of ethics prohibits that we should not engage in certain activities such as vices. We should not steal. We should not take what does not belong to us. We should not engage in examination malpractice. We should not engage in electoral malpractice. So that branch of philosophy is of ethics, is technically described as normative ethics. It prescribes right activities or conduct and prohibits wrong conduct. The third branch of philosophy of ethics is that which applies moral principles to real life day-to-day activities. If a teacher comes late to a class, if a teacher extorts students, those practices are wrong, and we're able to identify they are wrong on the basis of the application of of moral principles. When a business person, when a trader deceives a consumer or a buyer, we determine that that is wrong on the basis of the application of moral principles. When there is injustice in the law court, and I will say recently that the law court executes judgment, not justice. So when there's judgment without justice, we're able to determine that such is wrong. So what enables us to determine that certain professions or practices in certain professions are wrong is the application of moral principles. That branch of ethics is technically described as applied ethics. A sub part of it, of the applied ethics, is professional ethics, so that ethics is applicable in different professions. In medicine, medical professionals should not do certain things, should treat patients in certain ways, and should not treat patients in certain ways. A driver should treat passengers in certain ways and should not treat passengers in certain ways. So the application of moral principles, the application of morality to professions, especially in day-to-day activities, real life situation, is technically described as applied ethics. So in simple terms, there are three major branches of ethics. One, meta-ethics, description of concepts. Two, normative ethics, prescriptions of right conduct and prohibition of wrong conduct. Three, applied ethics, which has to do with application of moral principles in professions, teaching, medicine, entrepreneurship, and business.